very funny. My question is also about aptitudes. My name is Winnie. I finished my degree in mechanical engineering. And recently, I was called somewhere to do an aptitude test. It's due on Wednesday. Now, my question is, I know that aptitudes are for testing IQ. So, if the aptitude test proves that your IQ is average or low, does that necessarily mean that you are not worthy of the job?
My concern is about these aptitudes as well, in relation to my colleagues. You know, there are stations where you go for interview, somebody may be asking a question saying, what is the color of your tie? For that case, if you put on blue, you'll say blue. The person goes ahead and tells you, which style is this one? Those are questions. I was so much embarrassed when I went for the interview and they were asking me this kind of questions. I was wondering, what does the tie have to do with the job?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, by name I'm Swale Haruna. I'm a degree holder in accounting and finance. Currently, I'm working at the National Bureau of Standards.
Sometimes they want to check how you behave under pressure. Because I mean, if you walk into an interview and someone starts asking you such a question, you need that. Yes, sometimes they want to unnerve you. That is the purpose of asking you such things. So if you walk in and someone asks you that, you probably roll your eyes, okay? And then they say, okay, now you see how we behave under pressure. So that means if the other girl in the other section who has an attitude comes and taps them, they will roll their eyes and that work won't get done. Sometimes they're just doing that to unnerve you and see how you behave when something you didn't expect happens. So, like I said, you have to be, anything can happen, okay? So let it not unnerve you, you just take a deep breath and tell them it's blue, and I'm wearing it with a jacket, and I have actually 3 others at home. Okay? Because you don't let it break you down. Just because you don't think that they also decided to put aside their time to find out about shirt and tie colors and what. No. They're checking how you deal when an unexpected event takes place. Okay? Then the aptitude test, I would like to encourage you, never walk out of an aptitude test. Why? Because it's checking many things. Now, overall, we call them aptitude tests, but aptitude tests don't only check IQ. Okay? For example, you've done a technical course. Okay? They want to check how careful can you be. Different aptitude tests test for different things. Some check your speed. How fast will you finish this? Okay? And even when you've finished it, how accurate will you be in terms of how many correct questions will you have? Others check whether you're good with numbers. Others check whether you have, it's called high analysis. Now, if they tell you Mary said she will go, Jane said she won't go, who said they will go? The speed at which you analyze that, or the speed, thank you very much, the speed at which you answer that shows how analytical you are. Okay? Because even with those questions, they give you a time frame. They tell you there are 50 questions, you have 30 minutes. Now in those 30 minutes, you could pass all. Or in those 30 minutes, you could do 15 and they're all correct. And there's someone else who will do those questions and not finish. And still fail all of them. Okay? So those tests do not go out. They are doing that to check particular things that they may need you to be able to do on the job. So for you might be saying, I did this course, I'm a marketer. Now here you are asking me how tall Jane is versus, Joseph, or who is fatter than the other. That is not what they're checking for. They're not checking your English. They're checking how analytical you are, how fast you are. Do you think before you answer questions, or are you in a rush? Because there are those who finish 10 minutes. When you check, they're past 2. So they're checking for different things during that. Another thing is, for some jobs, you are like 100 people. Like, for example, those who apply for customer service at Zane, you get 200. And of course, you have to give all 200 people a chance. Because you're not going to say, because I have let's say 50 spots, I will just do 100 people. No, the more the better, because then you get, the best talent. And for that reason, we'll run an aptitude test. And the purpose of that aptitude test is to eliminate. So when you walk out, one down, we remain with 199. Another walks out, 198. It's now, depending on how people perform, it's then the people that we select and say, well, now let's take them for the actual interview. So when you walk out, you're limiting your chances of getting through to the end. And I would encourage you not to walk out of an aptitude test. Actually, I enjoy aptitude tests more than, they're easier to control than when some guy is sitting behind there and thinking other things and asking you the things they're thinking. It's safer for you, it's something you can control. And you can practice them, because they're on the net. You can actually get them, you can get a book from Aristo. They are there. They don't get them from heaven. They get them off the net, there are specific companies that do them, you can subscribe, you can learn how to do them. Because the greatest fear is how many people fear them actually. But they're not that hard. You practice, you can be able, after you've done like 5, you go in for the interview, it won't be so hard. And then, have I been able to answer your questions? Have I answered your question?
It is a graduate career and education fair. The lady before us is Marsha, Mrs. Wasimbi. I'm the HR manager of ZEI Uganda. Yesterday we had Rachel, head of human resources, DOCU and Joseph Mosoke, head of human resources, were in Telecom Uganda. What else do you want, ladies and gentlemen? If these top employers can come and talk to you, I know the questions cannot stop, but in the interest of time, the US Embassy wants to come in and tell you what does it take to get with them.
The education advisor with the US Embassy. Here to talk about graduate studies, options in the United States. Okay. How many of you are interested in studying in the US? Wow. I'd like to introduce Kelvin Chimindi, my colleague. He's a graduate of City University of New York. He'll be chipping in every once in a while. And there's Doris Mvano. She's also a graduate of the US. She'll be chipping in every now and then. So feel free, if you have any questions, ask them at any one time. Okay? So many of you would like to study in the US. Can anyone give me a reason why you think US studies is good? Why would you like to study in the US?
Because they are the rowers.
Pardon me?
Because they are the rowers of the world.
The rowers of the world. Good? Yes, please? The education system is? Thank you. Anybody else? A little bit about visas, US visas. So do not expect me to answer. I cannot talk on behalf of the consular section, but I'll try as best as I can to answer whatever questions. If I am unable to answer, I'll refer you to the consular section. And then the other thing I'll also touch on, which has been a very big concern, is funding for study in the United States. I'll talk about it, and maybe Kelvin will tell us something about fellowships. Doris, I don't know if you have anything to add, but please feel free to ask any questions at any one time, okay? Thank you. Maybe as they're trying to put the PowerPoint on, I'll just... Okay, I had asked why would you be interested in studying in the US. One, the quality of education in the US has been known to be the best in the world.